Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are looking more into the whole of everything that was revealed to us during the last letter from the producer, and we got some really good information here as well as the brand new trailer. I actually just did a live reaction to the trailer. It was my first time sitting down to watch it, so if you want to go and see it me completely freaking out, I have the link down in the comments down below. But yeah, so let's look at this in just a quick overview of everything that they told us about, what we can be expecting, and see if we have any more information. So of course, the whole trailer is called Echoes of a Fallen Star, and we finally have the release date for it. We knew that it was coming out mid-February, so nobody really knew exactly what day it was. It was either going to be the 11th or the 18th. I think that everyone was kind of betting on it being the 18th, but we were all kind of hoping it was going to be the 11th. But yeah, so it is coming out February 18, 2020. And like I said, the trailer is out, so you can go to any one of these and view it in whatever language that you want. It's actually pretty good. So I'll probably be doing like a whole in-depth analysis about everything we saw in the trailer and what I personally think of it. Anyway, we are just going to have the quick discussion about what we know. Well, and if I sound a little bit strained, I'm sorry. I have like this little frog in my throat. I can't get rid of it, so just bear with me. So of course we have the new main scenario quest line as well as the new tribe quest, which are known as the Qitari, which as we know as the Q-Rin here in the first. And this is actually going to be focusing a bit on gathering. We actually saw a little bit of them not only during the trailer but during the whole live letter. And we actually saw Yoshi P controlling his character like around this little area, which is somewhere in Ratika, which is where kind of like a home base for these Qitari. And it is going to be focusing on gathering, so you have to be a gatherer to be able to participate in any of these quests. So yeah, that is just going to be the next part of the beast tribes that are going to be part of Morvant. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll have next time. We also have the new series for the new Chronicles of a New Era quest, which are known as the Sorrow of Werit. And if you go to the special site, they do talk a little bit more about it. There's also the new quest series for the upgradable equipment. However, that doesn't look like it's going to be coming out until 5.25, so after a couple weeks, maybe a month after the initial release date of 5.2. And it's known as Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhilda. And for those of you who don't know or haven't played through the Gunbreaker questline yet, it was the name for the Hrothgar who protected their queen. Like, they were the ones who were like the strongest of the strong. Like, they were so powerful that they were able to earn the honor of protecting their queen. We actually learned a fair bit about them during the Gunbreaker questline, so it looks like we are going to be learning a lot more about the whole history of that, especially since we will be going back to Boja and helping the people kind of free themselves from the yoke of imperial rule. In order to participate in this, it's a quest series for upgradable equipment. It will be available when patch 5.24 comes out. And players will receive a base weapon first of all, and then we can go through the whole thing and then slowly level it up from there. This is where we basically join the resistance to free Boja from the rule of the Legatus Noah van Gabran. Now, an important thing to know about this here is that you cannot complete it without first completing the Return to Evilise questline series. And I really don't want to reveal any information in case someone out there hasn't played through it yet, but it is a really good storyline. You can just play through the whole thing now instead of waiting for all the patches to come out. And if you play through the whole thing, you will understand why it's important to play through that. Why it's important so that you understand what's going to happen. And this will be updated in future patches. Content in addition to quests will be added from patches 5.3 and onwards. Yeah, like I said, there is a quick few pictures that they actually had here. And just a quick little look at it. So we actually have Hien with Yugiri as well as this Hrothgar individual who seems to be part of the Resistance. And we are discussing what looks to be outside of Doma. So we're probably meeting up with them, seeing how they're doing, and they introduce us to this guy here who's going to be asking us probably for maybe advice or something, maybe even help. So they would want to kind of talk to the Warrior of Light first because naturally they would want to speak with the Liberator. With this next picture, we actually have two characters, two of which are familiar to me. One of them may already be familiar with you. We have Geralt here, who is the weaponsmith, who kind of makes all these really cool weapons for us. I was wondering when he was going to show up because he was noticeably absent until now. For this other girl here, the Alra, her name is Makoto, and she's actually part of the Return to Evilise questline. I'm not going to go into too much information on who she really is or why she's doing there. That's just something for you to explore for yourself if you haven't played through the questline yet of Return to Evilise. Like I said, it's a really good series. I think you should really try it out. For years, Boja, home of the Hrothgar, have remained at the mercy of Garlean rulers, but the empire has fallen into disarray, and the people of Doma and Alamigo have risen up to challenge their authority. The Bojans, while heartened at this news, yet lack the means to join the rebellion. To that end, they seek a standard under which their people may gather, a weapon of legend. So this actually looks like we are going to be continuing on with the whole storyline that ended off with the Return to Evilise questline, but I'll get more to that in just a moment. We have the new instance dungeon, and Amaya says Anya. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be saying it completely wrong with my voice like this. But we also have the new trial, which is known as the Cinder Drift, which is going to be all about the ruby weapon. And if you don't know about the ruby weapon, it was actually a very powerful super boss from Final Fantasy VII, and we'll be getting the extreme mode come patch 5.25. As well as they promised us a very special type of trial that will be coming out for us in patch 5.25. Now they're keeping this a complete secret from us, so we have no idea what it is or know anything about it. Not sure what that's all about just yet, but here's hoping that it's going to be just as good. I'm just going to say it. We are getting a God-burnt extreme trial. I don't know. I mean, I do think that we need Hildebrand back. I know that he probably won't be showing up here in the first. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, the last time that we saw him, he went tumbling down through a hole in the rift or something, so who knows where he'll turn up next. He also mentioned a great deal about the Ishgardian Restoration update, which is going to be continuing in patch 5.21, so I think that will be coming out about 2 weeks after the initial release date, and it's going to be focusing on gathering in the Daidom. And they actually mentioned a few other very interesting things, such as the Kupal of Fortune, which seems to be part of the... I don't know, it's part of some sort of new system here with the Ishgardian Restoration. I'm not sure what that is all about just yet. But I do know that we can learn expert recipes, and they have a very special ranking system. And top players are going to be ranked with special titles 10 days after starting it, which is going to be around 5.21, which is going to be a few weeks at least until after the initial release date. They're also going to be having some job adjustments, some crafting system updates, some fishing updates. They mentioned a great deal about those too, with the Sky Steel tools in 5.25. They're going to be having materia system changes, and then there's the big ocean fishing, which we'll be able to go out to sea and actually do a lot of really cool fishing. So it's actually Fisher exclusive content where you can board a ship at specific times to enjoy fishing on the high seas, and you can receive experience points and scripts based on all the fish that you catch. And after meeting certain conditions, you may actually discover special currents, which will take you to special places, which will be able to give you a chance to pull in a big haul. Now for the miscellaneous updates, we're going to be getting some new tombstones, the tombstones of Allegory. We're going to be getting some additions to the New Game Plus chapters. They're going to have a rank increase for free companies, which is going to be cool to see. And here is a really big one for me because they have the new courses and the Leap of Faith. We actually have a glimpse of it here where they were jumping around like right above like the city of Nim. So it looks like we have a lot more old ruins around the city of Nim that we weren't even aware of. They're like way high in the sky. And just like with the original Leap of Faith, you get to run around like on all these like floating islands. And if you fall, you're teleported straight back to the beginning and you have to try all over again. Fellowships can now be viewed in the companion app. And here is a big thing. I'm not sure why they felt the need to put this in here. But hey, they have brand new umbrellas. Umbrellas are going to be added. It's going to be so cute. So for the Sky Steel tools, we'll go back to that real quick. The primary tools can be upgraded over the course of multiple patches. It begins with a quest that you accept in the Broom, and you can craft or gather specific items to enhance these tools. Next, we'll go on a little bit more to Eden. They did talk a great deal about Eden, or at least they showed us a little bit more pictures of what we can be expecting. We actually have some brand new pictures here, including a look of the Oracle of Darkness. So I showed you this on my last video when we last looked at the special site. This here is the drawing for the Oracle of Darkness, and this is her in the game. And I don't see how she can walk in those heels. That is like 12 inches of sheer heel. How can you walk in those things? Anyway, we do have a better look at the primals that are going to be waiting for us. We don't know exactly all of the battles here. That kind of be ruining it for us the whole time, if we did know all of them. We did get a glimpse of it in the trailer where we had kind of a, I don't know, it looked like a flock of birds all flying together, so it does lead me to believe it's going to be some kind of a sin eater. But we actually have a big surprise in that we are getting not one, not two, but 3 primals. So it looks like we are going to be restoring 3 elements to the world now. So I do think they will be saving Shiva for the final part of the Eden storyline, which I guess kind of makes sense because we have a special connection with Shiva. But here we have Ramu. So Ramu is going to be one of the battles, apart from that one other battle that is probably most likely with that Sin Eater. And we actually have, he kind of looks like a combination between like the High Seraph, Poseidon, and Axion, who is like that giant lightning horse that we see in Final Fantasy X. So we have the upper body of an old man, the lower body of a horse, and the wings of an angel. And he is young, he's buff, his ridiculous beard is not there, which I was kind of surprised about because I was expecting that beard to be kind of like the center point, like he was in like a Realm Reborn. And just remember that this is the Warrior of Light's interpretation of the primal. So it really makes you wonder just what they were thinking of when they thought of this thing. And I gotta say, he is buff. Like, he is strong, he's muscular, he actually looks a lot younger than his other self, like back in Eorzea, so I don't know whether to be impressed or frightened by him. But we also have the 2 other primals. I was long since trying to figure out which of the other 2 primals could possibly be here, because I always suspected that Shiva would probably be in like the last patch for Eden, and we already knew that Ramu was going to be part of it. I just didn't know if it was going to be Garuda or Ifrit, because I could see either of them working. I did not expect to have both of them. So here is a picture of Garuda, and I gotta say, I really do like her new form here. I love those, like those 8 wings. Like, she does look a lot more frightening and even a lot more beautiful. I mean, I like this form preferably to her other form back in Eorzea. The form for Ifrit, however, I don't know. I mean, he looks completely different from his other self. Like, how does that go to this? I don't know. I really don't know how. But yeah, so we are actually going to be having a trial where we do battle with 2 primals at once. So by the end of this, it looks like we are going to be restoring the elements of lightning, fire, and wind all together with the earth and the water that we have already released back into the land. So that is at least 3 different battles that we are somewhat aware of. We don't know exactly what the 4th one is going to be yet. I'm hoping it's going to be good. We also have some other pictures of the battlefield. We actually have a screenshot of Ramu and his element, as well as with Garuda and Ifrit fighting side by side in another element. And this here is a quick look of the armor that you can actually earn from participating in these battles. And I gotta say, I really like the spellcaster ones. They look so, I don't know, it's like badass and elegant all at the same time. What's a good word for that? I don't know, I'll probably come up with one later. And yeah, so that's pretty much all that we know for now. They did talk a bit about the fan festival that's going to be coming up this year and next year. The first one is actually going to be taking place in San Diego, California in November. The second one is going to be in Japan, in Nagoya, which is going to be in December. And the final one is in Europe, which is going to be in London. So almost exactly 1 year from now when patch 5.2 comes out. Anyway, everyone, that's it for now. I just wanted to do a really quick overview of everything that's going to be waiting for us in the next patch. There's a lot more that they did talk about. There's a lot more that they did show us, and you can look more into that. So this is going to be the last letter from the producer live that we get until the next patch comes out. And I do think that they will continue to make additional updates to the special site, so you can keep an eye on that. I check it every morning just to be on the safe side, just to see if there is any new information. But yeah, that's everything that we do know for now. I hope that everyone enjoyed this video. I hope everyone's going to be looking forward to what we have next, waiting for us just around the corner. And I hope that you're going to be looking forward to my next video, which is going to be going into a more in-depth analysis of the trailer. So we're going to go over every little bit of it that you haven't noticed if you've already watched it. If you haven't already watched it, I strongly recommend that you do. It is really good, and I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it yet. And that should be out in a couple days, hopefully. But until then, everybody, I hope that everyone is enjoying themselves, that you still are having fun in the game. I noticed it has gotten a little bit slow lately, but hopefully now with all this new information coming out, as well as a release date, everyone's going to be getting back into the game. They want to get everything done and ready for the next patch. I know that I am. I'm going to be finishing up with a couple trials. I'm almost done getting the whole 99 totems that I'll need from Innocence, so that hopefully I will be able to purchase the new mounts from patch 5.2. If not, I am going to be heartbroken, because I already have 99 totems with Titania, and I'm almost done with Innocence. So if it turns out that they're not doing that this time, I am going to be heartbroken. So please don't do this to us, Square Enix. Please don't. So until then, everyone, hope you all have a good rest of your day, and be seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.